Welcome back to day 25 of interviewing someone every day. Today I'm with
Benjamin Ramirez.
Hey, cheers, Benji.
Cheers. Here, let me grab my cup of Joe. Cheers.
Thanks for doing the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I know you're a Christian, but tell me how you became one and how Jesus changed your life.
Well, I was born in the church. My mother has been a Christian for, I think, over 30 years. So I was born in Los Angeles, and so I was born and raised in church. And then when I moved to Seattle, we joined Open Door, and I've just been in church since then. Obviously, my personal walk has been affected by, what I've lived and my experiences. But there's this one saying that I heard from someone, I don't remember who it was from, but they said, there's nothing in the Bible that if you don't apply to your life, it won't make you better. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like that's so true. I've lived it and I've seen it through other people. And so, there's nothing better than, I think, living for God. And yeah.
That's awesome, bro. That's solid. When did you get saved? Do you remember a time and place?
If I'm being honest, I know I got saved when I was really young, but a time that I do remember it, it was I think I was 11 years old. We first started going to Open Door, and there was a special where they sang about the rapture, and it was just
you didn't want to get left.
Yeah, I didn't want to get left, but and so that's when I remember that I got saved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how would you say Christ has kind of affected your life and your decisions?
My decisions? Well, luckily we have God's Word, the Bible, which is His, way of speaking to us. So being able to look at that as, a blueprint of how I want to live my life has been great because, something that I can look to when I need advice for
instruction manual.
Instruction manual for life. So that's how it's affected me personally.
What would you say some of the biggest struggles for our generation as Christians would be right now in 2026?
I think it's really having a strong relationship with God, but also connecting and fellowshipping with other people our age. Because I feel like, especially as someone that grew up in church, I've seen how, a lot of people that I grew up with in church no longer go to church. So it's hard to have that community as a young adult. And it's important to have that fellowship. So I think that's something that I personally it's hard to have find that community, I guess. But there's so much temptation out there in the world,
it's just so easy and accessible. It's just right in your face all the time.
And it's almost what I feel like is it's almost frowned upon to live the right way. And, it's more socially acceptable to do the wrong thing. Yeah. So
what would you say are some possible solutions for that, or some things that you've found that personally help you?
Yeah. Well, number one, I would say it's really your walk. It's your commitment. It's your decision. When you wake up every morning, it has to be it's a constant mindset, I feel like. But what helps me, one of the biggest encouragements of my life is my mother and her walk through life. And so when I just see how she's handled everything she's been through in her life, I'm just so encouraged. I can't put my head down. I gotta keep my head up and continue my walk because she's been through a lot. And so for me, that's just inspirational. And obviously I know it's my personal walk, but she's an encouragement to me to keep going and continue, for sure.
Just getting to know her on this trip, I can already tell she's a special lady, and you guys have a special relationship. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's awesome, bro. Well, last question for you, and then then you're free.
I'm free. Wow, that's pretty short.
What would you say if you wanted to share a message with the world, or share a message with to the people of our generation, if you had that platform?
Live your life, live each moment like it's your last. Appreciate it, really. Never take anything for granted. Live with a lot of gratitude. I always tell my friends this. I always tell them I love them. I tell them I appreciate them. I always, tell them if there's something that I feel like they're doing really well. I always say, give them a shout out. And just uplift other people and I know that's a lot of different things you asked for
No,
one
it's
thing
good.
specifically, but yeah, live, never take anything for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Be really appreciative of what you have,
Mm-hmm.
of who you have,
Mm-hmm.
of what you're living through, the good and the bad, and then try to make a difference in other people's life, whether that's just saying hi to them or just being kind to somebody. I feel like the world, there's so much going on, and but you can make a small difference.
Yeah.
You can make a small difference in somebody's life and impact them in that way. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Wow, that's solid, bro.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the video.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Yeah. Pura vida.
Pura vida.